paused it. Sorry, I'm going to recap ever so slightly for the recording. So we're doing fingertips on the nostril. And as you breathe in, you're just allowing the sensation of your nostrils to spread out like a flower, spreading out into the fingertips and then softening. And we're also just becoming aware of around the rib cage and around the diaphragm. Is there any sensation of expansion in your diaphragm? I always feel like there is quite a lot of sensation just because I get quite tight around that area. I'm used to incredibly asthmatic as a child, so I always get lots of tightness around there. Good, and just a couple more. Lovely. And then relax your hand down, but just bear this in mind. I'm going to stand. Yeah, I think we should all stand actually for this bit. So get yourselves up, plant the feet underneath hip bones, or maybe slightly wider stance. And then we're going to add a movement, but can you continue to take in the breath through the nostrils and out if you can as well. And you're going to add breathing in, taking the arms up over your head in like a circular movement, and go back even more so you can see. And then as you breathe out, you're going to bring them down through the center of your body. This is quite Qigong in style. So you're coordinating your breath in as the arm goes up and out as the arms press down. Very easy. And we're going to keep going with this movement, but you're going to focus on different elements of it. And this is super calming for the nervous system. So we want to put ourselves into that nice, relaxed, and able to focus, centered mind. Good. Allowing any thoughts just to come and just to go. And then can you bring your attention right to the center of your body? So if your arms float down, it's as though your spine is floating up. So inhaling, the arms go up, exhaling, they go down. Really grow through your spine. And as you grow through the spine, can you feel your feet underneath you pressing into the ground? So that's feeling of lengthening up and pressing down at the same time. And you might notice there's a little lift through the front of your body, through that pelvic floor, lower abdominals area. Get a sensation of gently lifting. There's no force in it, really not. And if in doubt, you just go back to your breath. Good. And then can you do a few where you just try to extend your out breath? So you're inhaling, the arms go up. Exhale, how long can you make that out breath? Through your nose, on the way down, nice and slow. And we'll add a little bend of the knees. So you're going to reach and stretch the knees as the arms go up. And then as the arms come down, slowly bend those knees. Really slow, down, 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 down. Breathing in, stretch. A little bit more coordination. Breathing out slowly, 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 slowly down. Good. So you're getting into a rhythm, breathing in and breathing out slowly down. And you could take the feet a little bit wider so you can sink that bottom down even lower and make it slightly bigger movement. Breathing in, breathe out, and then send the hips slightly back and pressing down towards the floor. Breathing in. And now slow it, slow it, slow it, slow it, slow it right down. Two more like this. Inhale. And this really is a breathing exercise. Exhale. Good. That's quite nice because I can actually speak a little bit quieter, I think, with these things in my ears. And hopefully you can all hear me all right. Good. And down. Now, bring the hands into the center and you're going to twist to the right. And then you can clasp the fingers and just press them away from you. Press, 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 opening out the back. Bring them back into the center, a bit like you're hugging a big ball. And then turn them and press them away. Clasp the fingers, reach into the distance. Breathing in, bring your mind back into the center. Breathing out, press away and look out into the distance. And really helpful if you're outside. Really nice because you can get that sense of space as you push away. The spine is really remaining nice and long. Bring into the center and then press. Good. One more to the left. Breathing in, come back to the center. Breathing out, press away. Still really feeling those strong anchored legs into the ground. So you're twisting to the right. Now, press away. Now rotate so you're in a side bend. Reach into the side bend. Big yawny side bend. Bring it back down towards the floor and come back into the center. Twist to the opposite side, left. Press away. And now rotate. So you're opening out all the ribs. And come back. And center it. Good. Twist. Press away. Rotate into the side bend. Now just take the underneath arm and bring it to the ribs on the opposite side. And plant the fingertips into those lower ribs. And then just see if you can take 2-3 deep breaths through the nose into your lower ribs. Nice. And then just switch the sides, side bend, fingertips into the lower ribs, breathing in deeply. Deeply and lightly, not forcefully. Good, last one. And then take both arms up to the ceiling and just stretch them up as much as you can. And then very, very slowly on the out breath, I want you to circle the arms down to your sides as though you can really sense the whole space around you. So you're putting your attention on the colors, the textures, the objects, the space between the objects as the arms ever so slowly float down to your sides. Really nice. Good. You might get a tingling sensation in the arms. That's great. Okay, and then just start to take a breath and start to roll slowly down through your spine into a roll down. And as you go down there, just shake out the upper body. Give it a really good jiggly shake. Let your head hang forward. Good. And then just let your body sway to the right and sway to the left. And sway to the right and sway to the left. Good. And then center, plant the feet down and roll slowly up through the spine. Good. We're going to do 10 squats going backwards. If you wanted to add arm weights, it's a little bit more for strength rather than breath, but continue with the really good breathing techniques. So you could add weights if you wanted to. You don't have to at all. And you're going to sit your bottom back and really reach forwards with the arms and then come back up. And you're doing 10 to 15 of these and stretch. Just be really aware of the knee alignment as you do this. And you could also do a bend of the arms, of course, if you've got weights. Yeah, and if that's a little bit easier than doing the straight arm. If you've got no weights, I would just bring the arms straight forwards. So you're really reaching up and then back. And really sit the pelvis nice and low towards the floor. Keep your spine long and just watch the knees. So have a look down, just double check that the kneecaps are pointing between the second toe and the big toe. And stretch. I've totally lost count. And keep going. Let's do 5 more. And 4 and stretch. Can you be aware of the front line of your body? So the belly gently lifting you upwards. Nice. 2, stretching, and 1, and stretching. Good. Pop the weights down for a mo, or you can keep them actually. Take the legs open nice and wide. Just take it into some big open hip knee bends. Of course, you could add a band. If you've got a band handy, then you could add, or if you've got your weights, you could do the same thing, holding onto your 2 weights and just opening out the knees. If you haven't got any of that, don't worry, just don't add the arms. And just concentrate on the breath, because there's always something you can work on. It might be more a strength thing, or it might be more, okay, I really want to feel my feet in the ground. I really want to feel that kind of sensation of control all the way down and all the way up. And that's a great thing about the Zoom, is that it doesn't really matter if you're all going at different rates. So really focusing on what do I need today. Might be totally different from next week. Good. And last couple, really open out those knees, really open the knees and the thighs. One more. And stretch. Good. If you do have a band, you could take the band in a big circular movement just to open out the chest. To do a few of those. If you don't have a band, just clasp the hands behind you and roll the shoulders back and really open out that chest. Think of sunlight coming out of that chest, up and out. And just take a moment there. Good. Lovely. And let it go. Give the arms a little jiggle. Let's go back into the roll down. So we're going to do a few roll downs. Walk the hands forward into a downward dog. I'll adjust my camera as we go. Slowly roll yourself forward towards your toes. Good. Actually, we're going to walk straight onto the mat because we've already been here. Yeah, but just have a moment to hang. Let your head hang, let your arms hang. You could clasp the elbows and then take a breath. And as you breathe out, see how much you can hang forwards over your toes. So really actively bringing your weight forwards over your toes and just watch for locking out the knees. Try not to lock the knees backwards. That just puts your weight back on your heels. So you want to keep a little bit of softness through the knees and the feeling of really hanging over the toes. How much can you let your head hang? Shoulders. I have a tendency to always try and hold my head. And I think that's a very common thing because we do a lot of head-based stuff. So really see if you can let the weight of your head fall. Let it fall. And then start, when you're ready, to walk your hands forward along your mat so you're in a downward dog position. And then once you're there, just slowly walk through the legs. One leg stretching, one leg bending. I'm going to move my camera around. Keep going, everyone. Great. Perfect. Okay. Lovely. And then just lifting up both heels into the air. And as you sink the heels, breathe out and just extend through the tailbone towards the ceiling. Don't worry if your heels don't touch the floor. Don't worry if the legs don't straighten. As long as you're getting a stretch, that's what we're going for. A few more. Breathing in, lifting the heels. Really be sure to scoop upwards through the belly. And breathing out, sinking the heels towards the floor and really sending your tailbone up to the ceiling. Can you also just make sure that you're dropping your shoulders away from the ears so they're wrapping around the rib cage? Up as you inhale, exhale slowly down. One more time. Looking good, everyone. Nice. And down to do lots of triangles. And then rising up. Now, can you walk your hands forward along your mat slightly? And then come into a plank, but as you come into your plank, bring your right knee up towards your chest. Really lift that right knee and that right foot off the floor, and then send it back into a downward dog. Left knee coming forwards into your plank, really lift the knee, and then send it down. Right knee in, hold, hover for a moment, magic hover, and release. And left. So working through the shoulder girdle, really drop the shoulders away from your ears. Think of the shoulders being wide and down. This time we could add a stretch back with the legs. So in with the right knee, hold it, and then you could send it up behind you towards the sky. I'm saying that for Dan. And in, same leg, right knee, and then send it back up. One more. In, hold, send it back. Now, stay there and just take that knee and you're going to just circle it around a few times. Nice big circles. Good. And then send it out so it's straight. And then you could open the hip and really let that leg stretch upwards. You can bend the knee if you need. And release it. Left knee coming in. So you're breathing in. And then breathing out. Send it up behind you, or reverse the breath. The breath doesn't matter so much. In and extending. Nice long line coming in. Hold it and reach it. And then from there, just circle that hip around, opening anything out in that hip. Good. And then you can send it back up to the ceiling. Rotate the hip open. You could even bend the knee a little bit. I'm totally off camera. And bring it down. You're doing great. Come onto all fours. Good. Tuck myself in. Okay. And then just go for some little tail circles. Nice little groovy pelvic circles. Yeah. I always mean to say, you know, stick on some tunes that helps you feel good, like moving. And then circle the ribs around. Let's do some kind of jelly-like, sea creature-like movements of your ribs. As you do this, as you're moving your ribs, use it as an opportunity to really get into all the breathing muscles. So deep breathing through the nose if you possibly can. Yeah, and come back into the center and then just bend the right elbow. And as you bend the right elbow, just have a look up towards the ceiling, so over your left shoulder. So the rotation in the upper back and center. Bend the left elbow and just peer up and around and center. 2 more. Rotate slowly, take it easy, don't force anything. And center. And pivoting around, really listening to your own body as to how far you can go. And center, good. Round the spine like a cat. Looking inward, really bringing everything in. A sense of pushing the floor away with your fingers and your knees. And then reverse it. Opening, lifting, expanding. Checking in with your breath. Breath is such a good guide as to how much strain you're putting through your body. Really lifting and reversing it, dropping the shoulders away from your ears. Good, nice. 1 more. Rounding through the spine. And then just go towards a flat back. Open out the knees a little bit. And then take some big, juicy, you might want to move the hands forward slightly. And take some really nice, juicy, big hip circles. Getting into ball and socket joints of the hips. Giving you a nice little bit of lubrication. Yeah. And keep checking in with that breath. Are you breathing through your nose, nice and slow? I've got the creaky floorboard again. It's not my hips, I promise. Good. And bring it back to the center. And then just sit your pelvis to your heels. Let's take a little wee stretch into a child pose. Pop your head down. And then just really allow the breath to come into your back. Now, this is really nice. If you could either put your head to one side, I'm just doing that so I can have a look at you guys, but otherwise forehead to the floor. And then take your hands, put the heels of your hands into you should find a little bit of a dip where your lower ribs end, kind of the kidney area, and then you can wrap the rest of your hands into that lower back. And then just see if you can take a few breaths through the nose into that area. So see, again, it was a bit like the nostrils at the beginning. You're just noticing there's a little bit of movement there when I breathe in. So you're encouraging air into the lower part of the lungs, which stimulates the nerves of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming part of it. So we don't really want to be activating the fight or flight or freeze part, which is more the upper lung center. We want to focus a little bit more down here. And just a couple of breaths here. Let yourself relax. Really see how much on the out breath you can let go into your mat and allow that ground to meet you. Beautiful. One more time. Nice. And then slowly, gently walk your hands back to all fours. We'll do a little bit for the upper body. Walk the hands slightly further forwards than the shoulders, in line with the shoulders. So you're going to really wrap the elbows inwards. There's a feeling of engaging underneath the armpits, yeah? and a feeling of lifting away from the floor. So you're pressing into the floor. Reach your tailbone backwards, bend the elbows, and now imagine squeezing your elbows together and then pull your weight forwards between your hands, and you're going past your hands until your feet will probably just lift off the floor, and you do a little mini press up. Yes? You can make this as hard or as easy as you like. So the lower you go towards your mat, hovering, so not on the mat, just really hovering, and now really take your body weight. You're basically just using your body weight to load the upper body, shoulders, and then doing a press up. And back. And bend those elbows, squeeze them in. Now just to watch that we're not doing any sinking into the back. So really try and lift your belly, your ribs towards the ceiling or the sky. Over and push. Keep going, guys. Let's do a few more. And can you have a really nice, calm breathing as you do this? Really over and press. How controlled, so you're not falling into it. You're really on the journey through the whole movement. You're never quite getting there. And stretch. 5 more of these. And how are we doing? Good. Excellent. And press. Nice. Fluid breath. And stretch. Last couple. Good. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the armpits. You want to imagine you've got 50-pound notes underneath your armpits. It's something I think my ballet teacher used to always get us to imagine 50-pound notes in our butt cheeks. So you'd squeeze our butt. Same thing, armpits. 50-pound notes. And stretch. Good. Relax for a little second. You can always stretch out the wrists if you need to, if you get slightly dodgy wrist or sore wrist. Give them a little stretch, do a little circle around each way. Okay, because we are going to do slightly more on our wrists, more for the glutes, a little bit of leg work. If you need to, you roll up your mat, and you could always put the heels of your hands on the mat and the fingertips on the floor, and that just balances out the weight going through the wrist. Yeah. But otherwise, you're going to take your left leg and your right arm, extend them away. Now really try and keep centered through your body. You're trying not to shift your weight. You're really trying to keep a nice kind of calm, still spine. And then bring them in. You can tap, knee, and then reach, and tap, and reach, and 3, and lengthen, 4, lengthen, 5, and reach. A little bit of shoulder, a little bit of core. Reach, last 2, 7, reach, 8, reach. Plant your hand down, bend the knee into the air. Oh, I'm just going to lift my camera slightly. Okay, bend that knee, heel pointing towards the ceiling. Now, don't let the back collapse. Really lift under the belly. You're going to squeeze the heel to the ceiling. Squeeze for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze that butt. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend your leg outwards. Squeeze it in towards your other leg. 2, towards the midline. Little squeezes. 5, 6. Squeeze the butt. 7, 8, 9, 10. Point the foot. Now bring your foot, tap the floor, kind of almost cross the midline a little bit. Maybe gay, don't cross the midline, just go straight. And then lift it up and out. Tap down and up and out. Tap down and up and out. And 4, and 5, and 6, and we're going for 10, 7, and 8. Beautiful. Keep going. 9, and 10, and stretch. Bend the knee. 10 more pulses going upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing. Good. Well done. Other leg. So you're going to extend opposite arm and leg out. Bring it in. If you can, you tap the knee and stretch. You can do, obviously you can do this without the arm. Yes, if you need 2 hands on, absolutely fine. 4, and stretch. And stretch. 6. Reach. Keep the spine long. 7. Belly gently lifting. Fluid breathing. 9, 10. Bend the knee, flex the foot. Now you're going to pulse upwards, but really keep that belly lifted. Squeezing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reach the leg away, keeping the foot nice and flexed. Squeeze it across to the midline. Squeeze. You want to, it's a 50-pound note between the butt cheeks this time, actually. It is. You're going to squeeze the butt cheeks together. Squeeze them together. 6, 7, 8. So both legs are active. 9, 10. Point your foot. Take the foot down, so we're almost across the midline slightly, and then up and out. Down, up and out. 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Stretch. 7, 8, and 9. Well done, everyone. And 10. Good. Bring it in. Bend the knee. Flex the foot. And squeezing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the belly lifting. 6. Very small movement, actually. 8, 9, 10. Extend the leg out. Bring it underneath you. Good. Give your bottom a little wiggle. Yeah. Sit yourself into a child pose. Take a little moment just to ground. So notice your bones as you are in your child pose. You could let your head rest in your hands, wherever's good. Then just take a moment to feel into the bones of your body. There's something very grounding about embodying your bones. So notice how your bones, the scaffolding of your body, are holding you. And just breathing into that for a moment there, in through the nose. Just seeing if you can extend your out breath a little bit longer than the in breath. So if you're breathing in for 3, you might want to breathe out for 4. And then could you extend that to 5 or even 6? Couple more rounds. Good, very good. So gently, gently, you bring yourself around and onto your back. Meet me there. And if you've got a ball or a cushion, don't worry if you don't. It's really not a big deal at all. They can just sometimes be useful little props to make the inner thighs engage a bit more, which is good for most of us. If you don't, just make sure, have a little check before you lie on your mat that your heel bones are roughly in line with your sitting bones. Yeah, and the knees are parallel to the big toe and the second toe, so like train tracks. And then lie yourself down, pop the ball between the knees, if you've got one. And how are we doing with the camera? Let's do, go down a wee bit more. Okay, lovely. Relax your hands by your sides and just take a moment to rock the pelvis in and out of the mat. And just notice the bones in your pelvis. Can you notice the bones rolling into the mat and then rolling away from the mat? So you're rolling on towards the top of the pelvis and then rolling towards the base of the pelvis where your tailbone is. Can you just notice that action? Notice your breath. Notice the rest of your body. It's a really, really subtle, simple movement. Is the rest of your body nice and free and relaxed? Is the rest of your body able to move quite freely with this movement? Remember, the whole body is totally connected. Take it now into a circular movement. So you're rolling onto the right hip, tailbone, left hip, and then back of the pelvis. A little circular movement on the mat. Again, just note, and you can put your hands on the pelvis as well, give you an idea, more of a bit of more feedback from hands on skin. And then the other way around as well. Notice if there's any areas of tension. We often don't notice tension until we really slow down and move through it. And then often it's just, it will release. Easy breath, and then just bring your pelvis somewhere in the middle. Relax your hands by your sides. You're going to start to peel up through the spine. Again, if you do this movement, can you really be mindful in as you walk up your spine, each vertebra floating up towards the ceiling? You're going to get the hands on the butt cheeks, and you're going to give it a little bit of a push. Squeeze it up. Yeah, squeeze that butt. And if you've got a ball between your knees, squeeze the ball at the same time. So you've got inner thigh, bottom, and then hands on the front of the pelvis. And so you really lift. It's like you're drawing, just strokes the belly a little bit. Encourage it gently to lift. Or not to lift, to draw upwards towards your face. Yeah, or fingertips on the pubic bone is quite a good one as well. Thinking of directing the pubic bone towards the ceiling. Hold it there for a moment. Take a breath. And then you're going to melt yourself back down. The bridge is such a great exercise, but it's so, so, so important to get a good position. So you're going to roll yourself up. You're not just lifting up, you're really rolling through the spine, through each vertebra. Feel it touch the mat before it lifts. Into that ski slope position. Hands where you need to, bottom, pubic bone, belly. Yeah, just have a feel around. You really want to direct the pubic bone to the ceiling. Take a deep breath. And then melt yourself back down. We'll add a couple of arms. So we're doing a very breathy class today, but I think it's great. So you're going to roll up, breathing out. Breathing in, float the arms over your head all the way. If you can, if they don't get there, don't worry. Breathing out and roll your body down, but leave the arms where they are. And then breathing in, glide the arms forward. 4 moves. So see if you can really coordinate the breath. So your move and your breath, so exhale to go up, are absolutely, you're taking exactly the right amount of breath for your move. Breathing in the arms. It's like the breath is moving your body. Breathing out, rolling down. That should be a long one, nice long out breath. Breathing in, the arms float forward. So breathing out, you roll up. Really take your time with the out breath. Take your time rolling up. Breathing in, float the arms. Breathing out. Now take the time on the out breath to go down. Yeah, liquid spine. Breathing in, float the arms. 2 more like this. Get into a rhythm. It's your own rhythm. See if you can just take a little bit longer for the out breath. Inhale the arms, float. And then melting that spine. Imagine your face melting. Imagine your throat melting. Your chest melting. The middle of the back. That kidney area. Through the pelvis. Back to the ground. Floating the arms forward. Last one. Exhale, gathering everything you need as you roll up. Inhale, float those arms. Exhale, melting like an ice cream. Inhale, arms. Good. Let's add some squeezies and things. Rolling yourself up. Find a great position. So pubic bone pointing to the ceiling. Get the glutes firing, inner thighs working. If you've got a ball, you're going to squeeze the ball for 10. If you don't have a ball, you're going to pretend to have a ball and squeeze that pretend ball for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keep the squeeze. Lower the bottom towards the mat. Don't touch it and squeeze it up. 1, down and up. 2, and 3, and 4. So you should be kind of relaxing the glutes and squeezing the glutes. And 6, and 7. If you've got a ball, you squeeze the ball on the way up. 8, 9. Nice, strong inner thighs and glutes. 10. Hold it up there. Going to squeeze that imaginary ball or real ball for 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more downs and up. We could add hands reaching to the ceiling. 2, 3. Imagine hands on puppet strings. 4, 5. Is your face and your chest relaxed? You could even put a hand on your heart and just check in there. It doesn't really need to be doing very much. Notice if there's tension, see if you can drop it. Last two, and one. Oh yeah, we should be warm. Arms float all the way over your head, rolling down. Smoothly take the ball away if you've got one, and then grab the knees and just open the knees and circle them around a couple of times. Yes, brilliant. And then you're going to keep your knees in the air, go to like a tabletop position. And of course, if you do have the ball and you want to put the ball underneath the pelvis, so you're on a more unstable surface and you're working a little harder through the core, go for it. Yeah, and if not, without the ball, fine. Going to tap, tapping those toes. As you tap, can you draw attention to your core? So we're trying not to overuse the hip muscles, the hip flexors. We're trying to keep the hips nice and relaxed. Don't worry if you are feeling like they're working. It's absolutely fine. But you want to put all your focus into your lower belly area. So that point below the belly button. If you imagine dropping it down into the ground, so you're really flattening that. And use your fingers to have a feel. Yeah. And then with the knees open for 10, 9, 8, 7. Notice if there's any wibbly wobbly. Yeah. Side to side. Try not to. Try and really keep yourself centered. And 9 and 10. Then stretch a leg away, extending for 10, 2. Pulling the other knee in. 3, 4. It's an exchange of legs. Yeah. So really coordinate. Yes. A push and a pull. 8, 9, 10 bicycles. 2, 3, very smooth. Unfold the legs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reversing. 2. Can you really extend through the legs? Supermodel legs. Long. I wish. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Heels in, knees open. So you're in a froggy position. Back a little bit. And then as you stretch your legs away, can you just really zip up like you're putting on a really tight pair of skinny jeans, and then bend them back in. And then push away. Pull that belly button into your spine and coming back. Good, excellent. Press. Those of you who want to, you can add a little arm and head movement. Yes, otherwise you keep your head down. So you're going to extend the arms over your head and then circle and pull your knees in, but also curl towards your nose to belly button, basically. Pull in and then reach, head goes down, arms over, and then circle and pulling in. And reach and pull it in. And reach and drawing in. Inhale, stretch, exhale, contract. In through the nose, out through the mouth this time. Really blow out candles. Last couple, and 1. Good. Head down, cross an ankle, one on top of the other, and then hands on the floor, but try not to use the hands. Little lift to the bottom. Little lift, little lift. Now try not to swing the legs over your head. Try to keep the knees pointing at the ceiling and then lift them up. So you might actually only lift like it might be like this. Ooh. Nothing might happen. Don't worry, just keep scooping through the lower abdominals. Yes. 9. 10. Good. Give the knees a wee hug. Do whatever you need to do. Side to side rocks. Head rolls. And then pop your hands behind your head. You're in a sit-up position. You can always, you can absolutely always keep your feet on the floor. Yes, if it's too much to have the legs up in the air and doing everything, you can do, so we're going to do taps, yes, like this, but with adding on the upper body. But you could do this, upper body and just walking. Yeah, that's the lower level version of this. You choose. Knees in the air otherwise. Curl the upper body forward, look between the knees, and you're going to tap for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the knees in, let the head rest for a moment, pull the knees in, that's good. Same thing in a diamond shape position, yes? Otherwise, walking. Walking. Curl up, knees open, looking through, and 1, 2, maintain the position. Try to pull your belly button to your spine. 6, 7, breathing out. 9, 10, knees in, take a little moment. And then we're going to go for twisting, one leg stretching. So we twist, and then the opposite knee to elbow. 1, twist 2, twist 3, reach 4, 5, 6. Do this with joy in your heart. 8, 9, 10. Can you do it faster? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull them in, give them a really good hug. Well done. Very good. Very, very good. Let's keep those knees in the air. If you need to, you put them on the floor. And we're going to do some hip rolls side to side. So otherwise, if you feel like you've got a super healthy, nice feeling spine right now, keep them in the air and slowly, ever so slowly, roll them one side. And then on the out breath, roll them back. Yeah, if that does feel too much for you, just put them on the floor. Easy. And then you roll them slowly, and you're trying to roll the head in the opposite direction. Breathing in, and then breathing out, and slowly coming back. And then breathing in over to the other side. So see how you feel. If you want the more relaxing version, just sit on the floor. And coming back, good. If you're in the air and you want to add a little bit more, you go over, keep the knees together, extend the top leg out, bring it back in, and center. Over you go, slowly control, belly pulling in, extend the top leg, bend the knee back, and center. Try and keep that chest really heavy. Over you go, 2 legs extending. Really pull the belly in if you're going to do that one. Yeah, if you really want to support that lower back. Center slowly. Over. Checking in with your breath. Extend the legs. Really draw that belly to your spine. Can you feel how much you need to support that lower back? And center. 1 more to each side. Good. Reach. Oh my God, it's falling out. Okay, there we go. Last one, everyone. Even sides though. Reach. Beautiful. Come back in. Grab behind one knee. Extend the other leg out onto the ground. And just slowly unfold that top leg towards the ceiling. Give a little bit more elevation. Okay, yeah, that's better. And then just take your foot, flex it, spread out your toes. Oh yeah, you should feel that spreading action. Spread the sole of your foot. It's like you've got Eskimo shoes. I've said this before and I still can't remember what they're called. Really have to look it up. Circle your ankle, or maybe one of you can tell me afterwards. Circle your ankle around and the other way. Get into all those nooks and crannies that feel like they have some stiffness. Yeah, great. Now, can you just bend your knee a little bit? Walk your hands up to your calf muscle. Grab a hold of the calf muscle. And now, can you just gently reaching that leg so it's straighter? Don't worry if it's not straight. It doesn't need to be straight. Just see if you can unfold it a bit more. Good. And then roll your spine back to the mat and your head and bring the leg with you really as much as you can. It will give you a little bit more feeling of pull. Good, great, keep breathing. And then from if it's shaking a little bit, absolutely fine. It's just your nervous system responding. And now, can you flex? Spread out the sole of your foot again. Spread out your toes. Can you now pull your toes directly towards your nose? Toes to nose. Good. And how can you reach through your heel? Yeah. And can you take it slightly across your midline? Ever so slightly. That's it. You can always put your other hand on the floor. Yeah. Good. And then can you take it out to the other side? But what I would do is put your opposite hand on your supporting hip and really sink the hip into the ground. Now, if you can keep your legs straight, awesome. If you can't, just bend the knee, hook your elbow in, and do it with a bent knee. And just take the leg out. So it's more an opening of the groin, inner thighs, yeah? And then if you want to, you could add a stretch of that leg, yeah? Or not. Keep smiling. Keep breathing. Okay, bring it slowly back. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Oh, switch sides. Your legs should feel really nice and heavy now. Let it just sink into the floor. Notice the difference between your two legs at this point. Like you feel that that leg is a little bit more alive and a little bit more grounded. Yeah, good. Okay, take the second leg. Hands behind your thigh. Of course, if you've got a band, you could totally use it. But I mean, if you find it easier to access your leg rather than holding it, then please do use a band. Unfold your leg. It might not look like it's sort of straight like this. It really doesn't matter if it's somewhere there and you're getting a stretch. That's beautiful. It's perfect. And now circle your foot around a few times. Get the ankle moving. Give your foot some love. Foot care. Okay. Circling and then flex. Feel the sole of your foot. Spread it out. Spread out your toes. Create space between each toe if you can. Good. And if it's not happening, you just imagine that space expanding. Lovely. And then from there, bend the knee a little bit. Nod your head forwards. Walk your hands up to your calf muscle. Yeah. And then you've got to unfold a little bit more towards the ceiling. Mine's doing a little bit of shaky this side. Yeah. And then you're going to roll yourself back down to the mat, but bring your leg with you. Yeah. Good. Feel a gentle stretch, or it might be still a lot more than gentle. But breathe through it. If you're finding it's too much, it feels like it's going to snap, well, back off, bend the knee a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to feel like it's going to snap. Not that it will, it's just the sensation doesn't keep you very calm. Okay, from here, flex the foot, spread the toes, pull your toes towards your face. Good, and now reach your heel up towards the ceiling. Oh yeah, that gets me more in the calf. It might not for you, it might still get you in the hamstring. Good, now take your leg ever so slightly across your midline. Try and keep your hips, so take your other hand and put it on your hip and really roll the hip down into the ground at the same time. Really sink it, good. And then switch hands. You can take that leg out to the side, but plant your hand on the supporting hip. Really anchor through the supporting hip. Take the other leg out. Now, so it could be going out like in this kind of open position, or you could bend it and just carry it a little bit more. Yeah, or you could hook the elbow in and take it open, and then you could go for maybe unfolding when you're there. Lovely. And bring it back. Really nice. Okay, we're going to do a couple of rollovers. Who's up for that? So if you don't want to do it, I will give an alternative. So anyone with any like serious neck issues, I wouldn't do it, or serious lower back issues, but I think I know all of you well enough to know anything that's going on there. So you're going to take your legs up towards the ceiling. If you know what you're doing, you can just go for it, of course. Hands by your sides, deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to roll the legs. So use your hands. Try not to turn your head when you do this. Really try to keep the head pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Open the legs, flex the feet, and then you're going to slowly, from that position, roll back down to your spine. Yeah. Lovely. Big circle around. So do this a few more times. So you press with hands, use the out breath to get yourself over. Open the legs, flex the feet, and rolling slowly. Take your time, really use your breath. Imagine with each out breath, a little bit more of the spine going down. It's a little bit more control. If you are not doing this one, absolutely fine. Just stay where you are, and you can take your hands to the ceiling, and all you're going to do is inhale, widen the arms out to the side, and exhale, glide them in. You could do this with hand weights, or you can just use it as a centering, a breathing exercise. Inhaling Widening the arms out to the sides. Exhaling, gliding them back in on the out breath. So coordinating much what we've been doing with our breath work. It's really great. Centering, inhaling, coordinating breath and movement, and exhaling, coming back in. So those are your two options. Guys who are doing the rollovers, great. Let me see. Beautiful. Good. Make this one your last one, because I know that we're running out of time a wee bit. Yeah. Very nice. Good, Sonia. Good. And then when you're done with that, let's come and okay, I'm going to give you two glute stretchy options. Okay, so number one is normal, kind of crossing one foot over the thigh, threading the hands through, grabbing the back of the thigh and pulling your thigh in towards your chest, and really try and keep a sense of weight through your tailbone as you do this. Yeah, so option one. Option two is the two knees, one on top of the other, and you're going to reach around, you're going to grab your heel bones, or if you can't reach your heel bones, you grab your shins, and then you're going to draw the shins in towards you. I think, Gay, for you, with the hip replacement, you're not over crossing the midline, but be a little bit wary about this one. Don't overly cross. That's all. Good. And essentially, you always just listen into that body. Okay. Pull the heels up if you can, especially the underneath heel. Oh yeah, can you feel that? And you can always relax. I can relax my elbows onto the floor and just kind of, even with the play, with the tips of my fingers lifting. But that might not be for you. You might need to grab a little bit more shin action. Breathing into it. And then whatever position you're in, just switch the legs over. So if you're doing the knees one on top of the other, grabbing a hold of the ankle bones or the heel bones, even better, because you can really elevate that underneath heel or the shins. If you're doing the first version, it's just one foot across your thigh bone. Try and keep the hips quite level, hug around, draw that back of thigh towards your chest until you feel a stretch around the outside of your hips. Could be a little bit in the thighs and groin too. Absolutely fine. Good. Take a couple of breaths here, wherever you are. Good. Now, hug the knees in towards your chest. You're going to do a nice roll up to sit, and you're going to roll back. And okay, Charlotte, on your stone floor, you may not want to do this. One or two more. Just give your back a nice roll. Maybe because it's fun. And come up. Yeah. And just to finish, so you've got two options here as well. Lots of options today. Either you're going to do a continuation of the one we just did, where we cross the knees one on top of the other. So you're sitting, absolutely kneecaps directly in front of you. That's it. I'm going to lower the length a little. Okay. Like that. Or your second option is, if you're not going to go for that full cross, because it's going to feel quite tight around the outsides of the hips, yeah, is you do normal cross-legged sitting, and you try and keep the knees quite in, so you're not kind of out here in a yogi style position. Your knees are actually quite drawing across as much as you can. So, and if you're there, you're then going to either walk the hands forwards, and you can do this in both positions actually. Walk the hands forwards and just let yourself lower your gaze. You can relax the elbows, even if you wanted to. I often teach this one, but I know you guys may not have props and things. It's sort of resting on, you could rest on a roller, you could rest on a block, whatever it might be, a cushion. Yeah. If you're in your two knees crossing over, same thing. You might want to grab the feet and just bring your weight forward. So basically adding a bit of weight to the position. Yeah. Good. Lovely. And then slowly come back. Slowly, slowly. Switch the legs over. So either you're going really full on cross right in the middle, or you're going for the cross-legged, but not splayed, kind of in, tuck it in, and then lean the body weight forwards. So you're getting something through the outside of the hips there. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Yeah, and totally down what, you know, this kind of position is also great. Yeah, lots of options. So wherever you are, just add a little bit of weight to it. Take a moment. So I think it's very important, even though it's a movement class, that we are able to also be still and listen to the movement inside our bodies. So that means holding a position, committing to a position, breathing, and listening to all the, because there's so much movement going on inside your body and inside your mind, of course. So seeing how much we can come to a place of stillness in the body and in the mind too. So we're really trying to be one. Good. Nice. And release that position slowly. And then just come to a normal sitting cross-legged position. And then just pick one hand. And again, this is a little bit about embodying the bones, the grounding. Hand under the sitting bone, one sitting bone. I love this. I do it all the time. And you could put the other hand on the belly and just do a couple of rocks, forwards and backwards. So you're noticing your sitting bone rolling forwards over your hand, noticing it rolling backwards over your hand. Yeah, and when you've done that a couple of times, yeah, good. Charlotte, you probably don't even need the hand with that floor. So stony. And then release your hand and just allow that hip to really sink. So you really put your mind into the bone there. And can you feel how much more connected it is into the ground? Yeah, good. And then switch sides, hand under the sit bone, find the sitting bone. You might want to put another hand on the front of the hip or on the lower belly and just notice the pelvis. Really see if you can pour the weight of your sitting bone into your hand. Notice any tension that shows up. So actually often you will find that, I've got a bit of tension here that I didn't feel before. And when it was there, it's just we haven't been conscious of it. Good. And then just let that one go. Good. And just notice again the pelvis. Now, can you just let the hands rest and just do a very slow circle of your head around. And as you do so, just take in the space around you. Nice and slow. Notice your breath. Notice the weight of your body sitting, and can you take it around the other way? Very slow. Taking in all the sounds, the space, the objects, the colors, the smells. Yeah, good. Very nice, everyone. Well done. Great work. Thank you so much for joining me. And I am going to be doing a Wednesday. I know I put out Monday morning tentatively, but I am going to be doing a Wednesday morning because I actually have to teach in the studio on Monday morning, and which is also going to be live streamed. So, you know, I'll also let you guys know about that too. But I'm going to do a Wednesday at 9:30, I think. I'm going to trial that and see, you know, if there's enough people, then I'll keep it going. Because I'm really enjoying this. I'm loving the community vibes. It's so nice. Do you unmute yourself if you want to say anything or ask a question or, yeah.
So does that mean that you're not doing Fridays anymore?
No, I'm going to do Fridays.
No,
Yeah. I'm going to stick with the Fridays. It's just I know that actually a lot of people now have gone back to work.
Yep, they've gone to work.
I mean, a lot of people are away too, but it just means maybe some more people that were doing it can then come back and join on a different day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's great. Loving it. Really, really lovely. Well done, all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becca.
Welcome, and have a great weekend, won't you? Enjoy
Thank you.
Somerset. Enjoy
Likewise.
wherever you are, Dan. I don't know where you
Thanks, Beck.
Bye bye.
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 Bye, Paula. Bye.
Mm.
Later.
Bye and bye.
Bye.